Hey, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. It's Grandpa coming to you from the living room in Jacksonville Beach. Moving on in the story of Genesis and the Net Bible, Reader's Edition, which is an understandable version of the Bible. It's a stellar, scholastic Bible. One of the things about learning that's difficult is when you're trying to learn something and you don't understand what they're talking about. You have to translate the language. So if you look at the King James Version of the Bible, which is very good scholarship, it came out in 1611, and it's written the way they talked in 1611. But this Bible, first off, it's available online for free. It's beta tested, so when scholars come up with new information, they can submit it to the scholarship board at Bible.org, and they'll consider it and may update the Bible. Anyway, we're in chapter 7 of Genesis today. In chapter 6, God said, well, humankind has really gone astray. They've done all kinds of horrible things, so I'm going to wipe them out. But I'm going to allow 8 people to survive. Noah, his 3 sons, and then the 4 wives of those 4 people. And he sets Noah to a task to build this ark, gives him the dimensions, gives him the whole plan, essentially, because there weren't people. I don't think there were people building boats back then. Some people think there were no oceans at that time. I'm not going to get into all that stuff, and some people believe that it never rained until Noah was finished building this ark. So that people were sitting there going, like, what? Because it does say that it's like a mist that watered the Garden of Eden. So I don't know what started happening after that. Maybe it did rain. So let's jump into chapter 7. The Lord said to Noah, "Come into the ark, you and all your household, for I consider you godly among the generation. You must take with you 7 of every kind of clean animal, the male and its mate, 2 of every kind of unclean animal, the male and its mate." And it said that they were going to bring animals into the ark 2 by 2 in chapter 6. That was so they could procreate, so they could create new, like if you brought a lizard in there, you bring a male and female and they're going to create baby lizards. But the clean animals, the ones that you can sacrifice with, they brought 7 each. So there would be the 2 for mating purposes and then 5 for sacrificial purposes. And also 7 of every kind of bird in the sky, male and female, to preserve their offspring on the face of the earth. For in 7 days I will cause it to rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the ground every living thing that I have made. And Noah did all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the floodwaters engulfed the earth. Noah entered the ark along with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives because of the floodwaters. Pairs of clean animals, of unclean animals, of birds, and of everything that creeps along the ground, male and female, came into the ark to Noah, just as God had commanded him. And after 7 days, the floodwaters engulfed the earth. A lot of people think that Noah had to go out and catch all these animals. He didn't. God just brought them there. The animal woke up one day and went, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to go over there." Over there was this giant boat, and it's like, yeah, I think I need to get in line behind these giraffes and gazelles. Maybe they were going in alphabetical order, I don't know. So, and at the end of 7 days, it says that it engulfed the earth, but it doesn't mean that the floodwaters had gone all the way up. It just means that the rain had started, and it was raining so hard that it was starting to rise on that seventh day. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst open, and the floodgates of the heavens were open. So there's water underground now, and there was certainly water underground then. So all these springs and wells and stuff just they burst. God makes them burst. So it's not just water coming down out of the sky, it's water coming up from the earth. And the rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On that very day, Noah entered the ark, accompanied by his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, along with his wife and his sons' 3 wives. They entered along with every living creature after its kind, every animal after its kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, everything with legs. Now, if you notice, there's no fish there, but fish can swim. They're not going to get drowned. So he didn't have to build an aquarium in there to house the sharks and the flounder and stuff like that. He just brought in everything that lives on the land and flies in the air, because the floodwaters are going to go so high that no matter how high a bird would fly, there would be no place that it could find. Like the highest mountain on earth is going to be underwater. This completely envelops the earth. Pairs of all creatures that have the breath of life came into the ark to Noah. Those that entered were male and female, just as God commanded him. Then the Lord shut him in. And it's interesting. It sounds like there's no doorknob on the outside of this door. That they get in there. Now there's a doorknob on the inside, because at the end they're going to come out. But it's not like Noah had to go up and, use his key and open it up. And it says that God shut them in. Boom. The flood engulfed the earth for 40 days. As the waters increased, they lifted the ark and raised it above the earth. The waters completely overwhelmed the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the waters. The waters completely inundated the earth so that even all the high mountains under the entire sky were covered. The waters rose more than 20 feet above the mountains. So I'm 6 feet tall. If you went to the top of the highest mountain, you're talking about more than 3 times my height. So nobody's going to survive that. And all living things that moved on the earth died, including the birds, domestic animals, wild animals, all the creatures that swarm over the earth, and all humankind. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. So the Lord destroyed every living thing that was on the surface of the ground, including people, animals, creatures that creep along the ground, and birds of the sky. They were wiped off the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark survived. The waters prevailed over the earth for 150 days. So it sounds to me like it's starting to dissipate just a little bit at a time. 150 days is 5 months. It's a long time. Anyway, we'll see what happens when this ark comes to rest on the earth again, and how the earth has changed. in chapter 8 when we get there. So until then, peace out, fellas and lady.